Hello my lovelies. So in my last video I talked about the CRP and what it actually is, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the application process. Now I'm only going to be talking about the application process for the UK Pavilion. The reason for that is it's just the one I know the most and I wouldn't want to give any misinformation about how to apply. Firstly, I want to say that I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of each application stage, what specifically happens and what kind of questions are asked and that kind of stuff. If you're applying and want to know about each individual stage, then I will link you to Adam Hatton's videos in the doobly-doo below. These videos go through each stage, exactly what happens and all of that jazz. It's a really great video series that everyone uses when they're applying for the UK PAV. So first thing to know, when can you apply? Well, applications are only open twice a year. Applications are open for normally the whole of January and the whole of July. So first thing you need to do is go over to Yummy Jobs. Yummy Jobs are the British recruiters for the CRP. The first application stage is a written application on the Yummy Jobs website. This is kind of just a general thing, asking about your educational history, your employment history, about you as a person. You also attach your CV and your cover letter of why you want to do the job and why you're appropriate for it. But here are the two important questions that you get asked in the application itself. And that is, what motivates you to do this program and why do you value cultural exchange and interaction? These are the most important questions, so make sure you take time answering them. After this stage, you wait anything between a day to a month to hear if you've got through to pre-screens. These are just a group interview stage. It's basically to see if you have the right personality for Disney and if your personality matches what you've written on your application. A lot of people talk about these being scary, but they're really not. It's more of an informal chat. Just make sure you're listening to other people and that you're being Disney appropriate and you should be fine. Once the pre-screens are over, you have another 2 days to 2 months to wait until you find out if you've got a final interview with Disney. These are normally held at Disney HQ in London in Hammersmith, which is really exciting. This interview ranges from a serious job type interview where they're going to ask you questions about why you want the job and how you would solve problems. Those kind of things you'd be asked in a normal interview, and it can be quite serious and heavy and intense. But don't worry, the American Disney recruiters are always super lovely and will put you at ease. My interview, however, was very laid back. They barely asked me any questions about the job and how I'd work it. They just wanted to talk to me and see if I had the right personality for the program. I'll go into this further in my next video about my personal application process, but in my experience, the final interview was just to check that you are all indeed Disney standard. I don't know of a single person who got a no from that final interview, but that is kind of rare, so I think that's just a one-off experience. From there, be prepared for a bit of a wait. Some people hear within a few days, and for us it took I think 2 months, and it can take longer. When you hear back from Disney, it will be an email and it'll either be a yes, here is your date, a no, or you're on the wait list. Basically the wait list means that you are approved, you're Disney standard, they really want you, but there's just not enough places for you at the moment. Partly they keep the wait list so they can have people to replace anyone who drops out or self-terms from the job in America. Another reason is because they're doing these interviews about 6 months to a year in advance, they don't know exactly how many numbers they'll need in the future, so they have to wait to get the exact numbers back from the UK Pavilion to know if they need more people to go out. And the final reason is a more rare one, and this can be something completely random. Like, I know for the application process before me, there was a huge wait list because the Disney housing was full of people training for Shanghai Disney, and they were waiting for them to move out of halls and go to Shanghai before they could put the British people in. They wanted them to start work and they needed them, they just literally had nowhere for them to live. You can be on the wait list for 1,000,001 reasons, but you're almost definitely guaranteed a place. I know before there are about 40 people on the wait list and only one person got a no in the end. Everyone else got dates. So if you get put on the wait list, don't worry, just be prepared for a little bit more of a wait. From start to finish, my successful application process took about 5 months, from the day I applied to the day I got the yes, and it took 11 months from the day I applied to the day I will be flying out to America. So yes, it's a pretty long application process. It can be very taxing. The waiting is endlessly frustrating and it can be very upsetting if you get a no or you're just constantly unsure of what's going to happen. You may also have to put your life on hold in a way. You can't take on any serious jobs or start at new industries because you don't want to let them down if you move out to America 2 months later. It's tough. It's one of the toughest application processes I've ever gone through, and it's also highly competitive. I mean, at the first stage they cut 4 out of 5 people who apply. Anything between 300 to 1,000 people apply for each application, and then in the end only about 50 people get it, so you can imagine the numbers of people who get rejected. However, all that said, it is totally worth it. If you have the right personality and if you're willing to work hard for it, you can get the job. It is possible, and gosh, is it an amazing job. So I think that's pretty much it about the application process itself. As I said, Adam Hatton does a lot more detailed videos on the application process, so they're definitely worth a watch if you're applying. If you've got any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below and I will try and answer them to the best of my ability. I hope this was helpful to at least some of you. As always, be sure to like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more of this face, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!